Joining me now is Nebraska Congressman Michael Flood. He's a member of the House Financial Services Committee. And Congressman, of course, you were nominated in a special election back in 2022. Do you feel like you're on notice now?
No, there's nothing special about a special election. My special election was a couple of days after the Dobbs decision. I was supposed to win by 16. I won by 6. It's a snapshot that's pretty irrelevant because when you get to the general, I won by 16 points. So you don't just go up 10 points automatically. We're talking about a snapshot in time that's at a time where whoever is the loudest or the most upset, they get to come in and vote. But it really means nothing. I know because the day after my special election back in 2022, having only won by 6, I woke up and I was like, I feel like I lost. But the reality is that doesn't mean anything. You got to get to the general.
All right. So you're after the general. Now you're a sitting congressman. I want to get your take on what this means for the Trump agenda. That's the bottom line. This morning, we are watching a massive reaction on the tariff agenda. But of course, we all know that the Congress is working on extending the tax cuts. What's the prognosis there?
I think we're going to get there. President Trump had a great meeting yesterday with legislative leaders. I understand there's another one today. We're working towards, first of all, getting the Senate budget instructions, and then the next 4 or 5 weeks are going to be critical for us to land the plane and make sure we get this done. Extending those tax cuts, adding some more tax cuts to that. That's what the economy needs. In your prior segment, we talked about it. That's going to be a real shot in the arm for America. Pair that with better trading relationships around the world, and we are poised for some really good growth. It's going to be an adjustment getting there, but we will get there.
Well, look, I asked the president for clarity in my interview with him last month. He didn't give us clarity then, and people are still scratching their heads today, wondering what this means before these tariffs take effect. The president signed an executive order imposing sweeping tariffs on more than 180 countries yesterday. It includes a 10% reciprocal tariff on all imports, but then an additional 34% tariff on China, 20% on the European Union, 32% on Taiwan, 25% on all foreign auto imports, and more. The Senate passed a resolution to try and undo Trump's 25% tariff on Canadian imports. 4 Republicans joined that measure. What's the feeling in the House on these tariffs?
Well, tariffs can be an effective tool for securing victories for America. Both the USMCA and the China trade deal in his first term were both achieved through the strategic use of tariffs. At the end of the day, President Trump, he ran on this. He told people what he wanted to do. Americans supported it, and we know that it's going to take some time for this to work, but we will come out of this stronger. And I think it's important to note that Joe Biden did nothing in 4 years. I mean, how long has England or UK been out of from Brexit? 5 years after Brexit, America still has no free trade deal with the UK. Biden was asleep at the wheel. He let Nebraska farmers down when Mexico had some crazy idea that our white corn was in trouble. Not true. We just need somebody paying attention, and you can't say that President Trump isn't paying attention.
Okay, no, he's certainly paying attention to every detail. But when you take a look at the tariffs on China, when you combine the tariffs that were already in place on top of the fentanyl tariff that President Trump already put in place, and now with this new 34% tariff that he announced last night, you're talking about tariffs on China of close to 70%. You're talking about European Union tariffs also in the double digits. Are you expecting retaliation from the EU and China?
Oh, I'm sure there will be some of that. Hey, we learned during COVID that we have to be a nation that makes things. We have to be a nation that has our own supply chains. We learned how dependent we were on China, and they've been taking advantage of us for decades. And so President Trump is going to level the playing field. We have to trust that there's going to be an adjustment period, but we will get there successfully, just like he did with China in his first term.
Well,
so I'm confident it's going to be okay.
Yeah, that's right. But China didn't keep their promises when Joe Biden took office. They stopped all the promises. So they were already on their back heels. But look, at this moment in time, with the market down 1,238 points right now on the Dow Industrials and the NASDAQ down 800 right now, and the market's not even open, futures indicating a very ugly opening, now would be the time for some clarity on extending the tax cuts. So where are you on that?
Well, a lot of people didn't think the House could put the budget instructions together. I do believe that John Thune and the Senate, we're going to get to their budget instructions. And I'm hoping by, By Mother's Day, we're going to have, that would be the fastest I think we can get there, but we could have a proposal that could be voted on in both chambers. We know there's urgency. Every member of this House Republican Conference knows there's urgency, and every single one of us, came together to put those instructions on the table. And talking to my colleagues here, we've never been more unified. Look at the last 3 years. Our conference has come together. We're focused. We got to work with our partners in the Senate. But, the one person that can bridge the gap is President Trump. And he's the one holding a meeting today with legislative leaders. He's the one that's going to be able to help us with the Senate and get them to the table where we want them to be. But this will get done. There's no option for failure. There's no route that doesn't go through reconciliation. And then we talk rescission. You pair rescission with reconciliation, with trade cuts, with increased border resources and energy independence. We will take America to the next step, and it will get done. That's not even a question.
It will get done if you get the votes. It will get done if you're all unified. You're not. You got a couple of people there, Thomas Massey, Victoria Spartz. You got certain members who say, I'm not voting for all of this spending. We got to go back to pre-COVID spending. So, do you feel like you're going to have clarity on what this looks like, how you're going to extend the tax cuts before you leave for the Easter recess?
No, I don't think we're going to have a budget proposal that we're going to vote on. I think at the end of the day, we're going to hopefully have a Senate budget resolution that matches ours, or one that we can work with. And I think that coming back after Easter, there will be a series of meetings with members that will talk about what the budget cuts look like. Hey, Victoria Spartz, at the end of the day, she was there on the budget resolution. We only lost one vote. And what I've noticed here in the House of Representatives, the Speaker can get everybody to the 10-yard line, right? Okay. That 10-yard line to the goal, that's Donald Trump. And Donald Trump has the ability to land the plane when it comes to doing this. So we'll get there.
Well, then I would have to reassess my thinking in terms of buying the stock market right now, because I would imagine all of this uncertainty and lack of clarity until after you get back from Easter is going to mean a volatile stock market, no doubt about it. Congressman, it's good to see you this morning. We'll be watching your work, important work. Thank you, sir. Michael Flood.
Thank you.
All right, quick break, and then my next